There's only a few things I could think of that are more annoying than a cock blocker. A pretentious hipster, baby crying in an airplane, any Kardashian. And with that, I'm welcome you to another episode of the Romance Room. My goal, as always, is to enhance your movie watching experience. So Blockers, a newest raunchy comedy starring Leslie Mann, Ike Barinholtz, and of course WWE superstar John Cena. So now we have these three parents who find out that each of their respective daughters have a sex pact on prom night. They get a wind of it, and of course they decide to stop that from happening, and which is completely ill-advised, but they go out there and do the most ridiculous things to prevent their daughters from getting laid that night, and of course hilarity ensues. Now this is an interesting idea because I never really thought about parents being cock blockers, but they really are. Normally we think cock blockers is, you going after a girl and her best friend's trying to get in the middle, or maybe it's another guy trying to block you because he also has the same interest in this girl and it's preventing you from, how do I put this delicately, from attaining the quan, if you will. So this idea of parents cock blocking is unique, it's different. I haven't really seen that before in a movie. And here we have a first-time director, Kate Cannon, doing a really good job of putting all this together. She's kind of weaving two big storylines here. One, first of all, with the parents, and then trying to deal with the idea that the daughters are, going to have sex and they want to stop that. And as they learn throughout the movie that, they have to kind of let go. And every parent, of course, can relate to this. Just kind of have to let the kid go, let your kid make your own decisions. And of course, we have the perspective of the girls themselves. And it's just interesting because usually when you have these sex-filled, R-rated comedies, especially focusing on teenagers, you really see it from the guy's perspective. It's the first time I remember seeing this now from a girl's perspective, which is why having a female director was so important here, because I think one of the things about this movie which I find really interesting is exploring the idea that, hey, it's this double standard where it's okay for us to as parents to let your boys go out and have sex, but God forbid the girl wants the same thing. And even in comedies, you're always seeing these guys go through these shenanigans and have these sexual encounters or trying to have sex with women. And you have the girls who it's their idea to have sex. They're not being pressured into it. It's what they want. They're making their own decisions. So it's very interesting, very fascinating. So I think it's going to relate a lot to women, young and old, and of course the parents who are in these positions. And of course, all this being said, it only matters if this movie is funny. And it is, man. It's actually a pretty funny movie here. There's, I think, 3 or 4 scenes which I was just laughing out loud, which are absolutely hilarious. Now, the whole movie doesn't hit, but overall, it's a very good movie. Ike Barinholtz, I think, steals the show, and Leslie Mann's always good in these kind of things. But, props to John Cena, man. He has some chops there. We've seen him in Trainwreck. I thought he was pretty good. Now, sometimes he does overcook it here. I think he's still trying to find his way, but he's got a lot of potential, a lot of good comedic timing. And I think he's given some of the best material here. Although, yes, at times he's over the top, and the movie itself is ridiculous. Some of the shenanigans that go on here, they're way over the top, but they're done in a really amusing way with not taking itself as seriously as you hope they wouldn't. Overall, it's just a really good comedy. It has a lot of heart, which is important for comedy to have at the end of the day, bringing it home out with these parents coming to grips with, where the daughters are in life, and even the girls themselves being empowered to make those decisions on their own. And again, usually in these kind of movies, they're the ones being chased after, and they're actually the ones in some ways doing the chasing here. So it's kind of refreshing. This is one movie I really recommend. Again, I thought it was very, very funny, very, very well put together, despite the fact that it is ridiculous and over the top sometimes, and not all the jokes hit. But a lot of them do. I say maybe 60, 70% of the jokes actually hit. And there's a few scenes in here that I just laughed out loud, and the audience did as well. So Blockers, you guys want to check it out? I think you should. As always, comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.